Hi and welcome to the Reboot Tuesday. My name is Ruben and this is my review for Netflix's original series, The Order, Season 2. The Knights struggle to regain their memories stolen from them by the Order and they crave retribution. But vengeance is hard to plan when they're also fighting murderous magicians, strange new cults and life-threatening demons. So the Magical Order has dropped with a second season of 10 episodes, about 45 minutes apiece. And if you're like me, you would have had mixed feelings about the first season. This series did seem to definitely split audiences. You either loved it or hated. I was more on the not liking so much stage because in the first season, that scripting, that dialogue and the story was just basically laughable, although there was fun to be had in it. And then you had on the other side, you had people that really seemed to engage with the storyline and enjoyed what it had to offer. Obviously, this time around, you're kind of picking up off where that a little bit of a cliffhanger, and the werewolves are struggling to regain their memories this time round. I have to say, the first two episodes I really struggled to get into this season. I was really hoping it was going to be much better than the first season. But once I gotten past the first two episodes and I reminded myself what this series actually is, then when the third and fourth episodes came around, I started to kind of get into the story and just allow the series to wash over me with what it actually is. Even though it doesn't really know what it is, because it's almost like pick a genre. It doesn't know if it wants to be serious. In some parts it has some really dark kind of storylines going on with like 18 level gore and violence, dismembered bodies, just really dark magics. The costumes are also very dark and lends itself to a very dark thriller-esque series with some horror elements. And then in other parts, a lot of the time there is comedy moments, not like laugh out loud, but the scripting and stuff, the way they interact with each other is purposely meant to be comedy, I think. And then there's other times I think I was laughing that I'm not sure was funny. Obviously, the demographic for this is not my age bracket. It is for sophomores and up. It's college students, so if you can understand that, they drink a lot at the bars, and I'm always trying to figure out what age bracket they are, because the actors that play them look like they're older than the characters that they are meant to be, which is often the case, but more so for this one, it often takes me by surprise going, wait, how old are you meant to be? So putting that all aside, did I enjoy season 2? And I have to say, for the most part, yes. There was a moment, I think it was episode 5, where one of my favorite actors who played Spike in Buffy the Vampire Slayer came, and I was like, okay, you got me, man, because I loved the Spike actor, loved him as Spike in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I think he's a pretty cool actor, and just to see him in a supernatural series again, I was like, okay, well played, you got me, man. And just that little bit, then I was able to enjoy what the story was doing. There are moments I wasn't expecting with the story where it went as well. It is very tongue-in-cheek at times. It is very funny, although I'm not sure it's meant to be funny. And then there are some of those really dark moments. I would say the acting isn't great, and I would say the scripting isn't great, and I would say the way some of the lines are delivered from certain actors aren't great. And so if you're listening to me say all that, was like, well, why did you even watch it, and what does it have to bring? Should I be watching it? I would say yes, because if you know what you're going into, it's a teen comedy rom-com almost, supernatural thriller that has hilarious storylines that sometimes are not believable at all and sometimes are just fun. It's like a slapstick at times, and yet it's also soap at times, and yet it's also has intriguing moments in the storyline. It's all over the place, and I had some fun for it. Once I understood what the series was doing, which was I don't know what the series is doing, I kind of just let it go. And then there were moments I was like, okay, that's quite fun. And then there were certain characters I was rooting for. And then there were those moments where I was waiting for those kind of comedy joke lines that I knew were coming, kind of very demographic or core to this demographic you expect to be in a cringe cheesy fest. And yet I was there for it. I think I preferred it to season 1, actually. I don't know if it was better. It's just once I got past those 2 initial episodes, I knew what I was getting. So I guess a lot of people are going to be talking about the end episode as well, especially the last 30 minutes where kind of the poop hits the fan again with some of those storylines without doing any spoilers. Yeah, I didn't see that coming. So if you want to talk about spoilers in the 10th episode, do that little spoiler word and dot 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 dot, so nobody gets it spoiled. How many times can I say spoiler in a series? Spoiler, 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 spoiler. Yeah, I thought, wow, okay, so where are they going to go with that? They do leave us on a massive cliffhanger again, so they're obviously expecting it to get renewed, because I don't know that you can leave a series like that. That's not to say there aren't other storylines that are brought to fruition, which I'm thankful for. There is some sort of culmination which you can enjoy as a storyline, like one of the main arcs, but it does do that classic thing that it did in season 1, where they have part 1s and part 2s and part 1s and part 2s throughout. So there's all these like separate storylines throughout each. There were moments where where at times where I thought, oh, this is ridiculous dialogue. And then there were times where, like, this is ridiculous dialogue, but I enjoy what they were doing with it. I was almost always at odds with myself, going, you shouldn't be enjoying this. This isn't very good. And then going, I'm enjoying this. Why am I enjoying this? It's definitely one that I don't quite get why I know I like, but I do. I think it could turn out to be a guilty pleasure for me. So I'm going to give this a B. I was initially going to give it a D, and then it crept up and crept up and crept up. It's by no means brilliant, but it's in the same lines as some of the other, Riverdale or those kind of things that you expect to have a certain amount of cheesy teenage angst and drama. There's all of that, but every once in a while there's a bit of funny dialogue that I think that works, or moments that really work, or the magics that's fun to watch, or a storyline you weren't expecting to be there, or a spike that you weren't expecting to be there. So yeah, I would say if you were already invested in season 1, you'll probably enjoy season 2. If you were thinking about season 2 but you weren't really that invested with season 1, maybe give it a go and see what if you can enjoy the season 2 a bit more once you get past the first 2 episodes. That was my take on it anyway. I hope you enjoyed this review. Do check out my other reviews that we've got coming on the channel, and a few new ones that recently dropped, from Amazon to Netflix to director interviews. We've got loads on the channel. Thanks so much for stopping by, but most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.